made a really interesting decision late in his first ever playoff game, and that was to close with Russell Westbrook over Michael Porter Jr., who had been struggling. It's a 1-point game when Westbrook comes in, and you can see his value immediately pop off the screen with his defensive communication. The Clippers are trying to get a favorable matchup here for Harden on the switch, but they're not going to let that happen. Westbrook is pointing Jokic to go shade and help out in this area of the floor. Westbrook later in this play is going to fade to this wing. They double. He tells Aaron Gordon, hey, go double team Kawhi Leonard. And then Westbrook shoots out to cover this pass to Harden. Kawhi has to go the other way. They trap really effectively. Nicholas Batum is going to miss a really tough three. Westbrook grabs the rebound, and then the impact immediately continues. Westbrook sets a wedge screen for Jokic to catch right here, but they go up and try to set a ball screen. And the Clippers were sending two to the ball this entire game. Jokic finds Brown, and it's going to be Westbrook who taps in the offensive rebound. We can see his value right here as a cutter and a rebounder as an ancillary part of this vaunted Jokic-Murray two-man game, where Jokic makes a great pass, just throwing to the open space here, trusting Christian Brown to be there. And then Westbrook is able to box out Leonard, grab the rebound, and finish. And I'm going to be doing quick hitting analysis like this all throughout the playoffs. So if you're enjoying the content, would really appreciate a like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell if you want notifications, which the algo says is really, really helpful. And Westbrook helped the Nuggets execute their defensive game plan down the stretch against Ivica Zubac, who was killing them all game in this short roll. They bring Jokic up to the level, so Zubac has an easy floor to work with, but they're so damn early on these backside rotations. Russ is basically coming up to contest this pass when a lot of the times players would stay down here and kind of play the difference between the cutter, but they're going to force Zubac to make plays. And to Zubac's credit, he makes a great pass here, but this is what the Nuggets, want. They want their ancillary wings, your Batums, your Derrick Jones Jr. taking shots, and Aaron Gordon does a great job cleaning up and rotating. But then Westbrook taketh away, and oh my goodness, some of the decisions in this game from Russell Westbrook were, and we're going to continue getting into this, especially if you watch this game. Westbrook takes it right at Harden, who just backs off and forces him into a miss. The Nuggets were up one late in the game, elected to go really fast, and the Nuggets on this next play, notice Westbrook here staying down on the floor. Something happened. He couldn't get up quickly. That's going to give the Clippers a 5-on-4. Christian Brown doesn't know the foul count. He takes a foul on Harden, but that sends him to the free throw line, and the Clippers retake the lead. We're going to see the Nuggets come down on this next possession, and we can see the impact of Westbrook on the offense right here in both a positive and a negative way, which is going to be a recurring theme for so much of this video. Chris Dunn was roaming off of Westbrook this whole time, basically playing free safety, covering the middle of the floor. He initially cuts off this pass to Jokic, but Westbrook does a good job instead of just standing still in the corner, moving into the paint to force Dunn to react. And then Jokic is so ridiculous, does his thing on the perimeter, finds Russ, who's just sitting there, and gets a wide open layup to fall. Nuggets up one on this next offensive possession, and we're going to see again the kind of limits of Russell Westbrook on the floor in this scenario. The Clippers are not at all afraid of Westbrook shooting, so late in the clock, Kawhi can sink hard on Jokic, and Murray passes to Westbrook. It's a pretty nice pass, and Westbrook just can't hit the corner three, but Gordon gets the rebound. The Nuggets were absolutely killing the Clippers on the offensive glass late in this game, and Westbrook was a big part of that, which we will definitely get to. On the next defensive possession, Nuggets unable to score, and we're going to see Westbrook try again to execute this low man helper position, but it's just tough, and I did want to highlight how good Zubac played this and how well he played as a short roll decision maker. Again, we see just a hard trap, two bodies at James Harden, and it's going to be Westbrook trying to decide to bait or get back, but Chris Dunn really isn't a threat to shoot and score. So Westbrook probably should have just stuck to Zubac, not gave him a catch. But Westbrook gambles here. Harden reads it, and yeah, that's a poor decision by Westbrook on this play that ends up costing them a point. Next possession down, though, Westbrook grabs the offensive rebound once again, or I guess that was his first rebound of this video so far. Westbrook here just kind of waiting around, going to grab another offensive rebound, taps it out, but Aaron Gordon can't secure it. Not an offensive rebound here. We again see the value of Westbrook as an offensive rebounder, while, as always, kind of showing his limitations as an offensive piece. Dunn jetting towards the ball here. Nikola Jokic doesn't have any openings. Norman Powell can sink. James Harden can basically just play at the basket, forcing a pass out. And the Nuggets or the Clippers are pretty cool with Aaron Gordon taking those threes. But yeah, Westbrook's energy and offensive rebounding creates these high variance game states that the Nuggets were able to capitalize and win on. And again, of course, the potential game winning shot, Westbrook wide open in the corner. This is what the Nuggets don't want, I guess, per se, and this is what the Clippers want to force. They want to double the ball. They want to send two bodies at Jokic and leave their weakest shooter open in the corner, but Russell Westbrook comes up clutch. Now, though, after James Harden ties the game on the other end, Westbrook doesn't exactly come up clutch. First, again, Chris Dunn darting towards Jokic because they're not worried about Russ. And Russ on the catch here just isn't going to make a good decision. That's probably an understatement for what ended up happening. The Nuggets, with 18 seconds left, didn't get a shot off. And Westbrook here did not shoot the ball like he did that last time. He did not pass to Aaron Gordon, who was wide open under the rim, nor pass back to Jokic. He kind of just dribbled in traffic, lost the ball, and honestly, I'm not sure I would have had Russell Westbrook. After a dead ball situation, I would have put someone else in the game. I don't think, even though Westbrook hit that shot on the possession before, it's hard to trust a guy with his decision-making in these late-game clutch situations. You could see Jokic call for the ball, but we're going to overtime anyways, and we're getting right back to how the Clippers were playing Russell Westbrook on the defensive end, completely ignoring him, allowing Chris Dunn to roam, splash up to the ball right here. They're basically almost like zoning here. We have two on the ball. We have Zubac playing Jokic, and then we have Harden kind of splitting the difference between Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook, and Harden takes Gordon, doesn't give him the cut, and yeah, the Clippers, despite the clutch shot Russ hit, are going to be okay with a play like that. Westbrook here going to continue, though, to make an impact on the offensive glass. Doesn't get a call here. Maybe he should have. I'm not sure. His finishing is just not what it once was, and if he could be a really efficient finisher on these plays, his value would be so much more consistent because he is wild on these plays where he gets James Harden on the offensive glass but can't score. Actually, no, I think he actually ends up drawing a foul here. Okay, yeah, my bad. He did end up drawing a foul there. So, point being, Westbrook able to draw a foul there, and he's going to get an assist, I think, here. But this is another example to me of a questionable decision that kind of got lucky, that, again, shows a lot of the limits of Westbrook offense, where two bodies, again, forcing the ball away from the big two. And Westbrook here, notice how Harden defends this 2-on-1 situation. He's going to immediately backtrack and try and anticipate this pass. He guesses correctly. He doesn't even, he barely steps up at all to Westbrook because he's not a threat to score. And Gordon is, lucky that Harden was just a beat late to this and couldn't, the loose ball bounced to Gordon. And great credit to Gordon. He's obviously so strong and athletic, and that gave the Nuggets a huge advantage on the interior. But we can see another, questionable decision by Russell Westbrook nearly cost them a key possession. Denver scores on the other end, or gets a stop, and right now with a minute and 50 left in the game, they're going to run their offense. Jokic, again, they get Westbrook in the corner, and this time he's not able to hit the shot, but he nabs his own rebound and misses the shot. This is the most Russell Westbrook game to ever Russell Westbrook, man. I swear to God. The Clippers, once again, right, just Chris Dunn is not going to let Jokic drive into this path, does not care about Westbrook being wide open, and they're happy with the result. But Dunn doesn't box out Westbrook, who doesn't score over Zubats. The Nuggets end up losing the rebound right there. Kawhi gets it and ends up drawing a foul on the other end. Clippers still down 4, though, with 45 seconds left to go. And we're going to get an incredible, almost game-saving play here from Chris Dunn. The anticipation on this steal is just bananas. Look at what the floor looks like when Dunn starts. Like let's find the first frame where Dunn starts his rotation right here. Like right there, right here. Look at this. This 99% of situations, this is an easy pocket pass to Jokic, but Jamal is a little late here, but this was just an absurd play by a special defender in Chris Dunn to steal this pass. But it is important to know this play is only possible because Westbrook is on the floor, and we're going to see that at the start of the possession again. Westbrook in the dunker spot, Chris Dunn's like, I don't give a shit, I'm going to double team the ball. They force it out to Jokic, and again, weird kind of poor spacing here. They run flat, empty spacing, kind of just bunching these guys up and trying to get Jokic and Murray as much space to work. But, you don't have a Michael Porter Jr. or, another shooter on the floor here. So Dunn can just ignore Westbrook and make an incredible, almost game-changing play. So that's one almost game-losing sequence involving Russell Westbrook. And on this next play right here, after James Harden hits a 3 over Westbrook, this isn't really on Westbrook. He was smart not to contest and foul. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have a 1-point game right here. And the Nuggets at this point can pretty much just hold the ball until the end of the game. 3-second shot, 3-second difference. They should just be holding the ball. The Clippers need to foul here. They trap, and you could hear on the broadcast, and they said after, Ty Lue was telling them foul, 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 but Westbrook gets the ball in space, and instead of holding it, he drives to the rim, misses the shot, and is so damn lucky that Aaron Gordon was able to get this rebound, because if they don't, the Clippers have the ball with a chance to win the game on the next possession. So Westbrook here, right, should have just dribbled out, taken his time. They don't need anything here, but Westbrook, a questionable finisher. This was an excellent rotation and contest by James Harden. Credit to him, and an even better, clutcher rebound there by Gordon, and then the Clippers have to foul. So Westbrook almost lost the Nuggets the game twice there, but Westbrook, the Clippers down by 3, is going to win the Nuggets the game by stealing this inbound pass, which wasn't a phenomenal decision by Batum by any means, but this is all effort and Westbrook getting in there, knocking that ball off of James Harden. He knew it. This was a wild roller coaster of an experience watching Russell Westbrook in the fourth quarter and overtime of Game 1 against the Clippers. This is going to be a wild series, and I think it showed a lot of, obviously, the positive stuff that Westbrook can bring, his energy, occasional shot making, the rebounding, and the defense, but there were so many ways that the Clippers exploited Westbrook's presence, and if they had some better luck, maybe they would have won this game because of that. As I said earlier, Westbrook is an agent of chaos, and he brings high-variance game states for better or worse because he is a high-variance player who pretty much always has to be involved for better or worse. So I'm fascinated to see how the Clippers adjust to this, or if they just kind of play the same way and trust that their game plan works, and how David Adelman is going to kind of adjust throughout the series. But let me know what you think. Let me know who you think wins this series, what you thought of this game, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you watch this.